welcome into the Common Dad Podcast Fat Edition. We are on our final, how do you say, plate positioning, I don't know what the word is.
Plate.
Yeah, we're on the last spot on our plate for our holiday meal, and of course, it being last, we are going over the desserts.
Well, this is like the first round, right? Then you go up for seconds.
Sure, yeah, because there's
Nobody does one plate at a holiday meal.
No, not our stature, at least. Definitely not. You have like a main dessert, and then you have like the fly-throughs, you know? You're walking through the kitchen, and you just grab a whatever and pop it in your mouth.
Well, that's usually before the meal even starts.
Yeah. I like to eat my pie like pizza. I don't even put it on a plate. If it's sturdy enough. Kind of like the corn casserole, you know? Which I did, by the way. I did pizza style my corn casserole. That sounded dirty, but it's not. But before we get into that, I am in a really weird headspace because we're going to talk about like holiday desserts and everything like that. And tomorrow begins a Jamaican vacation for me, which is kind of the opposite. So I'm like trying to get in the holiday spirit, if you will, but the car's running. For sure, or the plane's running, and you're going to be lucky if you get 50% out of me, I feel. Is that a fair percentage to give less than 24 hours away from a vacation as far as effort goes?
I guess it depends on the topic.
Well, okay, let me also preface it with this. I'm usually only given about 75%, so you're not losing 50, you're only losing 25.
There you go.
Is that, yeah, I don't know if that makes you feel better. Now, what's the appropriate amount of, and of course I didn't do this with my current job because they possibly could be listening and I worked hard all throughout the day. As an employer, and I'm not one, and I've never been one, how much effort can you expect to get 2 to 3 days before somebody's vacation?
You
gotta expect a letdown, right?
To some degree, it depends on the job.
Yeah,
it does.
Like
because
if you're
a pilot, wow, went straight to the extreme. If you're an hourly employee at a restaurant or fast food joint, then you're going to expect the same service you always expect.
True.
Why is it any different? You're here and you're working.
Not the customer, the employer. So, like, if let's say you're a server or a waiter.
But the employer should expect the exact same. You don't leave for your vacation until 2 days from now. If you're I know where you're going with this. And again, it depends on the job.
All right, give me an example where it would be acceptable or expected of a letdown.
For you to be given less work leading up to a vacation?
Not given less work, but just, all right, this employee is going on vacation tomorrow. Maybe we don't lean on them as much because they're going to let us down.
We should be able to. It's project management. If you're in a job where you're managing projects or you're managing, orders or, you're managing jobs, like a specific task for a company, and that task, that job, that project is taking place while you are not there, they should not be putting that work on you.
Right.
Because you're just going to pass it off in the end to somebody else to watch while you're gone.
Yes. That's probably and that's kind of the example. That's kind of what happened with me because in my line of work, a lot of things are going to have, like, not everything's going to be done when I'm done. So today was like, we could load me up with a bunch of stuff, but I didn't get that because it was like you said, what's the point? So not that I didn't finish the day very, very hard, if any of my employers happen to be listening.
But see,
I'm done now.
So, I'm in sales and my email is still going to go. My voicemail is still going to fill up. It's all going to fill up. So if I decide to slack off and do a little bit less work leading up to a vacation, it's that much more I have to do when I get back.
That's true. You're going to get it. Yeah.
And I'm already going to have a ton of stuff to do when I get back.
Yeah. Man, when I was in car sales, like the week before I was done, I essentially took 2 weeks off Because you can really do, you can just not do anything in car.
That was pretty much like 100% commission, no?
Yeah. So if you didn't do anything, they didn't have to pay you. Didn't matter. No sweat off their brow for sure. All right, well, let's jump into this because this is certainly a passionate topic for gentlemen of our particular weight. The desserts.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying we're fat people is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Which, by the way, before we get started, some companies, I feel like I've said this before, some companies don't know how to make an extra large size.
Oh, no, not at all.
Like my wife bought me a shirt today, and it was extra large, and I put it on. I went, well, this isn't extra large. Said, yeah, it is. It says it on the tag. Well, nope, it's not.
It's when you compare it to every other extra large out there.
If you're going to make extra larges, you need to have fat people right there to try them on and to correct you immediately. Like Express, I can't go there anymore. They don't have any. They have extra large, but they really don't have extra large. They don't. Anyway, speaking of fatness, we have our top 8 traditional holiday desserts. So as we're going through this, you might be thinking, oh, you left this off. We probably did, but they're not all holiday.
Let us know in the comments.
Absolutely. We have our traditional ones here. Now, a couple honorable mentions, of course. Rum cake. I think, not only do I think rum cake is disgusting, I think mixing booze in
You haven't had the right rum cake then.
I've had homemade rum cake before, so I would assume that's pretty good. But here's the thing. I don't think like mixing the booze with sweets is like when you go get like some boozy ice cream. I don't like that. I want my booze or I want my ice cream. I don't want them together. They both taste worse together. So
again, I think it's application based. I think there's certainly some good desserts out there, but maybe it's how they're made. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. So rum cake was certainly thought of. And this is another one. What are your thoughts on fruit cake? I've never had it.
I don't care for fruit cake myself. Dessert, I don't know.
This is what bothers me about fruit cake is you can just send it in the mail and it's fine for some reason. And you can go to your store right now and there's fruit cake in like a non-food aisle, just in a box.
You mean in a non-refrigerated section?
Sure, yeah, there you go. And I'm just like, that doesn't feel like that. Like that feels like it's in, and don't get me wrong, I love them, but like that feels like it's on a Little Debbie level. If you could just slap that thing in a box and just, when it sells, it sells.
I don't think you're thinking about it enough in that scenario.
I don't think about a lot enough.
Because when you walk through the bakery section of your grocery store and you see all the apple pies and the cherry pies.
I did that today.
And the brownies.
Talk to me.
Are they refrigerated?
Or
are they just sitting on a table in the middle of the bakery section?
That's a fantastic point. That's actually a really, really good point. However, and then it's all about appearance. They're in like a clear tin that looks like they were with like a printed off, like, giant label.
So they look as though they're freshly made for you, where the fruitcake looks like it came off a conveyor belt in a production line.
Yes, there's a handwritten expiration date, must sell by, and it's always like in 3 days. And the fruitcake in a box is probably the same quote unquote freshness, but it doesn't feel like it. So I'm not going to buy it and I'm not going to eat it. It just doesn't. I don't know. And it's also
called fruitcake, and I don't want to eat that. So.
It doesn't look good. It looks like
it doesn't.
I don't know. Looks like it has rocks in it. It doesn't look like real fruit. What fruit do you know is like shiny green? It looks like an infinity cake. Like it just doesn't. What'd you say?
Infinity cake?
Like it's all.
I said all kiwi.
Stone. Yeah, but it's not shiny, is it? I don't know, man. It just doesn't. It doesn't look like a real food. It looks like something.
Podcast brought to you by Stupid.
Look, I have the letter from Ohio State to prove that I am stupid. So,
all right. Do we have any more honorable mentions, or
the last one,
fruitcake and rum cake?
Fruitcake. This last one I actually really like the no bake cookies.
I love no bakes.
Just because, they're no bakes, and once you make them, you can just eat them. There's no There's literally no
cookie
cooldown
batter without baking it, but I do like no bakes.
Yeah,
but I understand it being on the honorable mentions because if I am on it, during a holiday, on a holiday plate, there ain't no room for no bakes.
No, it's a flybyer for sure. You drop by the kitchen.
That's the holiday season. It's as I'm coming and going in stores and shopping and in and out and it's I'm eating
grab them like Skittles.
But it's not it's healthy, right? It's like oatmeal, so it's healthy for you.
Oh, it's a very healthy meal.
It's a health food.
It's almost like a vegetable. That's why
it doesn't count.
Make it. So, now that we got the first losers out of the way, this first matchup is bizarre because I actually don't know that I've ever eaten the first one.
Really?
And speaking of me being dumb, I'll tell you something fun about this. The Yule log versus the gingerbread.
Ooh.
So when we say gingerbread, we don't mean a gingerbread house because don't eat those. You can, but they're not good.
No.
But like the gingerbread cookies with maybe some icing on them. The Yule log. Before today, do you know what I thought a Yule log was?
I don't know if this is appropriate for the
no,
podcast.
It's not. It's fine.
I think we already have a restricted icon on our podcast, and we're about to blow that out of the water.
What is the thing? What's the thing? Like you can go to get your mind out of the gutter. This is not dirty. What's the thing you can go to Netflix during the holiday season and you can just click on like the fire place, and it just goes on for like 8 hours. I thought that was called. I thought the Yule log was like a type of log that like smell. I don't know. You ever just like think something?
Wait, you thought it was a YouTube video, or you thought it was like a log you put in the fireplace?
I thought it was a real log you put in the fireplace that had like, that was like, and this is sounding dumber the more I talk. That was like spiced. That made it smell like Christmassy.
Oh, a spiced fire log.
And listen, this is going on the internet. Yeah, I just
is it a spiced fire log on your TV?
I don't know. That's what I thought it was. And then I just didn't ask the question. And now I'm 32, and here we are. And now I find out that in fact is not a Yule log. That's just turns out a regular log that you put in the fire. I think a spice log would be nice. Anyway, what is a Yule log, Andrew? Tell me.
I mean, are you asking like historically where I mean, like a Yule log? I don't know. It's like a cake that looks like a a log that you would put in a fire.
So it's like like a pumpkin roll, but
you could do a pumpkin roll, I'm sure. I've never had it as that. It's typically the one we have is always chocolate.
Okay.
I actually only have this at my in-laws. My family doesn't really do them at all. That's fine. It's still delicious.
Yeah.
But it legitimately looks almost like a tree branch or like a thick tree branch or a log. And when she makes it, she even has like little other branches coming off of it that have been, trimmed,
so it makes
if you
it
will.
Look like an actual.
But yes, once you cut into it, it's a rolled cake with like a cream filling.
Okay.
Or ho-ho or whatever, but looks like a tree log.
If it's filled with cream cheese icing, is it still a Yule log? Because that changes.
Well, that's the pumpkin roll. The pumpkin roll is with cream cheese, isn't it?
It is. Is that a version of a Yule log?
I think it could.
Here we go. We have our IT people on it. The Yule log, or Christmas block, is a specialty selected log burnt on a hearth as a winter tradition in regions of Europe, particularly in the United Kingdom and subsequently North America. The origin of the folk custom is unclear. So am I reading that right?
A Yule log is a fire log. It's a fire log.
Yes, you're all idiots.
It's a burnt log.
I'm a genius.
But traditionally, the when people are referring to it, it's a dessert. And especially in this conversation, it's a dessert.
But
it's a dessert that's designed to look like your traditional Yule log.
Man,
do you feel smarter now?
I'm so smart. That's incredible. Well, just because
I didn't see anything in that definition about spiced. And TV.
It said something
burnt.
Specialty, which means they spiced it.
Oh, is that
they spiced it up. Yule log
like
over the gingerbread.
Bam.
For me.
Bam.
What do you want? I'm putting cream cheese.
For us, it's a chocolate rolled cake.
Yeah, I'm doing cream cheese icing in mine. You don't know.
As long as it looks, as long as you do the external icing and coloring to look like a tree branch, then it's a Yule log.
All right. So are your vote for Yule log?
My vote would be for Yule log over gingerbread all day long because I don't actually like gingerbread cookies, gingerbread houses, I don't want to make a gingerbread house. I don't like eating gingerbread houses. I don't like eating gingerbread cookies. None of it. Gingerbread
it's overrated.
out. I would pick one of the honorable mentions over gingerbread. Gingerbread can get kicked down the street. I don't really care.
Yeah, I agree.
It's gone. It shouldn't be on the list. It's the one that made the playoffs that everybody is saying, really? No, nobody likes it. Moving on.
Man, you feel a way about that. That was awesome. Okay, next one, pumpkin pie. I feel a way about that. Versus the Buckeye. You couldn't.
It's out already.
All right, so you like the pumpkin pie a little
I do
bit.
like pumpkin pie, but not versus Buckeyes. How do you beat peanut butter and chocolate?
You don't.
It's regardless of our where we're from and the team that we root for.
Sure.
It's peanut butter and chocolate. How do
you could have
it doesn't matter.
Just a spoon of peanut butter and a spoon of chocolate sitting on the counter that I didn't know who scooped, where it came from, or how long it's been there sitting next to pumpkin pie, and I would take those two spoons and simultaneously put them in my mouth all day long. And I could have just seen that pumpkin pie come out of the oven or wherever the hell it comes from.
I will say, if you're eating pumpkin pie, and pumpkin pie can be good, it's got to be with Cool Whip. Cool Whip.
Agreed. Has to be. Yeah.
Bringing out my inner Stewie.
The pumpkin pie needs to be kind of cold too, right? It's not really like a warm pie.
No. Absolutely not. Cold pie with a healthy dollop of Cool Whip.
Yeah, because the Cool Whip masks the taste of the pumpkin goo.
I don't know about that, but sure, we'll go with that. In the end, Buckeyes wins anyways, though.
And it's not even close. All right.
Now, how many Buckeyes do you eat for every slice of pumpkin pie? Like, what's the comparison? Because one Buckeye is never enough.
Right, but too much and you'll throw up pretty quick, I feel like, because they're super rich. I would probably do like a homemade Buckeye. Those are pretty girthy. Give me 3 to 4.
I was going to say 4.
Yeah, 3 to 4, depending on the size.
And then wait an hour or two, and we'll dive in again.
Yeah, absolutely. I like a cold Buckeye as well, or a room little lower than room.
I prefer them colder and with the chocolate a little bit like not crispier. That's not the right word.
I know what you mean. A little crunch, if you will.
Yeah, where it breaks. It's not soft chocolate.
Fingers.
Exactly.
Yes.
No, yeah. It's, every now and then you get the soft chocolate ones, and it's
it's a no.
You want to have a little bit of
some well, I don't know what the word is because I'm dumb. Anyway, sugar cookies versus cherry pie.
Sugar cookies being the traditional cutouts, correct? Being the Christmas trees, when you decorate cookies with your kids for Christmas,
the ones you leave out for Santa Claus.
That's the sugar cookies.
That's the sugar cookie. Yeah.
See, I like the idea of decorating cookies and the family time and all of that, but at the end of the day, I don't really like the cookies all that much.
Yeah. I don't know, man. They can be pretty... Okay, so real quick question. Do you like the sugar cookie that is... They're like all like... They got all the flour on them still, and they come in the... I love those things. I love them. And
so do you want your sugar cookies to... I would assume you want them a little bit softer, no? A little bit more cakey.
I don't like a crunchy cookie.
The hard... Yeah, I guess I'm picturing more of the hard sugar cookies where like it's crunchy. And
no, those suck. I don't like those.
But versus cherry pie, I don't really even care. Even the softer one, it's cherry pie all day long.
So for me, the sugar cookie's not great. It's fine. It's there. I'll certainly eat it, even if I'm not hungry. I'll just have one. But I don't like cherries, so naturally for me, it's just out.
Even
so
the best cherry pie you've ever
I just
had.
Don't like them. I just don't like cherries. Like,
now, see, there are cherries that I don't like. I don't like artificially flavored cherry things.
Those are gross.
I don't really care for the maraschino cherries that you would have in like old fashioned drinks and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't care for any of that. But cherry pie,
yeah,
I'll eat that all day. That's the only kind I'll have. And I don't know what the difference is in those cherries. It's probably more artificial flavoring.
4 cups of sugar is the difference.
Well, yeah, probably.
in the breading, for sure. And probably some Cool Whip, I would imagine.
But yeah, I have to go cherry pie on this versus sugar cookies. I like the art of the sugar cookies and the family time and the sentiment of, everybody making their own sugar cookies and all the different creative cutouts you can get and whatnot. But as far as what's making it on my plate at the holiday, and I guess that's the other thing, this is a holiday plate. You're only going to have those sugar cookies during one of the holidays.
That's
where
true.
The other item is going to be there. Now, and that could be said for some of our other desserts that we've talked about too, but the holiday plate, we've got bourbon, we've got brisket, we've got the corn casserole.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not adding a sugar cookie to that. It's cherry pie.
You know what? I don't even like cherry pie, and I agree with that. Like, it just doesn't,
I love it.
It just doesn't make sense. I don't have to like it to agree with it. Cherry pie advances.
I think we know it's not going to make it to the final.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's a nice little empty
Spoiler
win.
alert.
This is a heavyweight. Apple pie.
Oh, this is easy for me, but I know I know I'm not necessarily in the populace, so
apple versus pecan. I don't like that this got matched up this early. It kind of bothers me.
Oh,
what do you like?
We have a fan of. Oh, I'm apple pie as America. I don't know if pecan pie is not American, but I don't like pecan pie. I don't think pecans have a place as a pie. It's that doesn't make sense to me. I don't like it. No, apple pie.
So everything you said is right.
Apple pie warm with a dollop of vanilla ice cream on top.
It's strong. I would argue you could just do the same with a pecan pie.
Nope.
Pecan probably shouldn't be in a pie, and it probably shouldn't taste good. But it is incredible. And it's not even necessarily the pecan. It's just you bake it in a sheet of sugar, and then whatever that light brown goo is that gets all in there too, which is probably just butter. And
see, I don't know because I don't eat them because no.
Pecan pie is my favorite pie. Apple pie is my second favorite pie.
The favorit pie.
I even made.
This is your winner then. I have a chance to knock your winner out.
I even made, it bothers me.
In the first round.
Some homemade apple pie, and it was delicious. But
well, it's clear we're at odds, which means ultimately this is going to have to go down to the judges. Do you have any more arguments for the pecan pie before the judges cast their
I do.
decision?
I think the best part about a pecan pie is that it stands alone. You don't have to add ice cream to it. The apple pie, you kind of need it.
No, you don't.
And the pecan provide a nice crunch, a real nice crunch to it. I don't think that's going to be enough. I feel like Nick Saban lobbying for Alabama to make the playoff here.
When you close your eyes and you're eating your pecan pie, what's the memory that comes to your mind? I'm trying to help you here because right now you're still losing, I think.
The memory that comes to mind, I black out. I don't know.
Give me a heartfelt moment here. No,
I do feel my heart. I feel my blood slowing down while I'm eating it. Hand is literally on my chest. No, it's just better. I just believe it's better.
False.
I don't have a good reason.
False. No, it's apple pie all day. Is
that what the judge says?
Look, the apple pie is a staple. Everybody loves the apple pie. The apple pie is American.
I understand. I'm on the outside looking in here. I think most people would agree with you.
I don't think you need the vanilla ice cream, but I think when you take the vanilla ice cream and add it to it, you potentially have one of the best desserts ever out there.
I will say this about the apple pie. One of the best dessert things you can do with dessert is have something piping hot and have something freezing cold. And you can do that with the apple pie.
Put them together.
And the ice cream.
You can do that.
I would fight you harder if I wasn't, as I said earlier, 1 foot out the door, giving 50%.
50%.
Yep, absolutely. So apple pie it is. This next one, the U-Log, for me, my U-Log, I'm eating a real piece of wood.
We're into the next round, right?
Because I'm a man, exactly. Versus the Buckeye, again, it's peanut butter and chocolate. Right?
Peanut butter and chocolate all day. Chocolate cake with cream filling is delicious, but peanut butter and chocolate is peanut butter and chocolate.
Could you like whip up the peanut butter almost to
a chocolate cake with a peanut butter cream?
Oh boy, my goodness!
Peanut butter and chocolate Yule log.
When we get done here, I'm googling Buckeye Yule log, and I'll bet you somebody from the South has whipped that thing up for sure. 19 sticks of butter. Oh, yeah. What about with some crunchy peanut butter?
It's definitely the Buckeyes all day.
Yeah, for sure. You'll log it out of here. But don't forget to put it in your fire because it's a real log.
We may have just invented a new holiday dessert, though.
I think we did.
Come back in 5 years, and that will have taken the country by storm.
The Buckeye log or the Yule-eye. Yule-eye sounds like a fish. All right, anyway, cherry pie versus apple pie.
This is a tough matchup.
Not for me. Cherries suck.
I'm trying to think. If I have two in front of me,
you're eating them both.
You're probably not wrong. But which one would I go for first? Gosh, they're really pretty much even in my mind. And for the sole purpose that they're even, I'll give you the apple pie. Because they're even, and so I'm happy to see either one of those move on.
This is how much I don't like cherry pie. Is if you were to place both of them in front of me, I would rather not have either than have to have the cherry pie. Just don't like it. It tastes like medicine to me.
Okay, what about pecan pie and cherry pie? You would not have either? Same debate.
I don't like cherries. Taste like NyQuil to me. Like the cherry NyQuil?
I think you've had some bad cherry pies. None of the cherry pies I've had tasted like that. I would argue the like maraschino cherries and the
Are you not supposed to use cherry NyQuil to flavor your cherry pie? That's what my parents always did. Maybe that's why it came out all funny and sleepy. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good idea.
No, it's not, and it also feels very illegal. All right.
Just don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Take that to a party.
Boy, yeah, that would certainly do something. So, Buckeyes versus the apple pie. I'm kind of stuck on this Yule log Buckeye thing. I think that would be.
That's the only thing your mind can think of?
Yeah. Like, that's the equivalent of two teams playing on a field or a court and just going, you know what? Let's just combine and move on to the next round. No, nobody wins, nobody loses. We made a super team.
Looking at the traditional Buckeye versus the traditional apple pie. I love Buckeyes, but I only really have Buckeyes November, December, and really more December than November. Okay. It's kind of a 1 month out of the year staple.
Yeah,
going back to that earlier debate. You're not gonna have the apple pie on Easter. You're not gonna have the apple pie on Independence Day. You're not gonna have it. Name your
apple pie on Independence Day though.
Or sorry, the Buckeyes. American. What did I say?
The Buckeyes.
I said the apple pie. Yes, you should. Yeah. You're not gonna have the Buckeye on, insert holiday name. The only one you're gonna have it with is maybe Thanksgiving and then probably Christmas. Those are the only two. Apple pie goes with Independence Day. It goes with Thanksgiving. It goes with Christmas. It goes with Easter. It doesn't matter what the holiday is. if you have a family gathering for a holiday or not, and somebody brings apple pie, you're eating it.
You are even if you like the Buckeyes more, I don't know what it is. You just have to have it. It's weird. It's almost like the ham on
Buckeyes
Christmas
are delicious, but they have to stay in their lane. And apple pie just goes.
Oh my gosh. Our MIT person just sent the Buckeye roll. Can feel my blood clotting. Look at that. Wow. How many calories per slice you think that thing is?
I'm not looking at this just yet because I didn't want to get distracted from our podcast. But are we going to actually slow it?
It looks exactly what you think it would look like. Exactly like it.
That looks delicious.
Look at that. Google Buckeye roll if you're listening.
We're going to have to make
that. So apple pie.
This website only rated it at 2.8 stars.
Well, that's dumb. Website. They're wrong. Go to our website.
For the name alone, it should get more than that.
So apple pie wins. I think we can both agree.
Yeah, for the purposes of this conversation, my holiday plate, it's apple pie.
It's gonna have apple pie with a little ice cream on the side.
Even if it doesn't have the ice cream, if there's ice cream to be had, it's like a French vanilla ice cream or a vanilla bean ice cream on a piping hot apple pie all day.
And you can do it hot or cold. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Now, if you can make the Buckeye log, I'm coming over for sure. I'm having that. That looks like my teeth hurt looking at the amount of sugar that's in that thing. Holy crap. So
How
that's
much
it.
Sugar goes in
That's
here?
the plate. So we have
2/3 a cup of sugar. That's not a ton of sugar, but
yeah, but the amount of sugar
that's for the cake
in it,
and then
it's chocolate and peanut butter.
That's for the cake, and then there's 2 cups of powdered sugar in the filling.
That's beautiful.
2 cups of peanut butter.
Yeah,
and there's a good amount of sugar in traditional peanut butter, anyways.
Yeah, somebody's foot's falling off this holiday. That's rough.
Forget the toes. The whole foot's coming off.
Just the whole deal is coming right off. It's probably worth it, though. So to wrap this up, we're having a bourbon. We're having a brisket.
We didn't even discuss, dessert bourbons.
What is a dessert bourbon? Is it
so
just
you've mentioned at a time,
or is it an actual...
No, it's just a bourbon.
Okay.
I just put dessert in front of it to make it sound like it's a dessert. No, it's bourbon.
I know there's dessert liqueurs.
I think you can make a little bit of a treat bourbon, if you will.
Okay.
So you've given the example. You'll take a Woodford, double baked. Is it double baked or double barreled or double something?
Yeah.
Woodford, if you're listening, we accept sponsorships.
Yeah, we're open right now for the next 2 months. So
I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, you said that you pour a tiny bit out for the boys, and then you put in a vanilla bean, and you put in a cinnamon stick, and you put in something else, no? What?
2 cinnamon sips, and then you slice up
an apple.
A Granny Smith apple, and the whole thing goes in.
Granny Smith. You put all of that in there after you pour a tiny bit out for the boys.
Sure.
And you let it stew for a month until Christmas, and then you crack it back open and you drink it. Would that not be a dessert of sorts?
That would be. That's actually, I mean, it's called apple pie bourbon, so yes.
Dessert bourbon. So
I would agree.
Throw the apple pie out. Right. I'm having my apple pie inside of a bourbon.
Speaking of listening loyally, thank you if you already do. If you don't, I don't know how this message is going to get through to you. However, you can find us on Spotify, Apple, and then really all the other places that are good. And if we're not on there, don't listen there because it's not a good place to listen to a podcast. But more importantly, go to our brand new YouTube channel, like, subscribe, listen, and of course, you can watch. We are on YouTube at The Common Dad Podcast, Instagram at _common_dad, and Facebook at The Common Dad. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time. Thank you guys so much for watching today's episode of The Common Dad Podcast. Let us know if you liked the video by giving us a thumbs up. Even if you didn't, give it a thumbs up anyway. Be sure to subscribe, click the bell to get notifications every time we post a new video. Also, do not forget to follow us on Instagram at @the_common_dad and on Facebook at The Common Dad, so you can let us know your thoughts on today's episode.